Hey everybody, it's Ed. I just wanted to say hello and to welcome you to what is my study, my library. When we moved into this house, this was actually supposed to be the living room, and we never use a formal dining room, and that is what we turned into our living room, which is over this way. My wife Melissa's idea was to turn this into more of a study. And you can see here, I've got this executive desk. This is where if I'm going to focus and I'm going to do my writing, I have my Supernote, both sizes right here. I also have what is a reproduction of the Jefferson book stand at Monticello. My father-in-law actually made this for me as a gift for graduating with my doctorate, so it was a lot of fun to get that. Obviously, it's got a lot of sentimental value, and it's just a lot of fun to have this workspace. Really, I think of down the line when we look at maybe redoing our basement and having more time to look at how we could build out a room that's got a little bit more of a smaller footprint, maybe lower ceilings. We could look at whether or not we can improve on audio quality, those types of things. Right now, I am using my phone to record this, and this is the Galaxy S23. And I just wanted to show the functionality of this. I'm wearing a lavalier mic right here. It's attached to the phone. I've got the autofocus turned on. We're recording in UHD, and it's a really good device to be able to use for that. And what's nice about it is with the Windows link, I can actually see myself over here on my computer monitor and still see what's happening through and use the bigger camera, which is the rear facing camera, instead of having to use that front camera, which is going to give you kind of a lower quality, more of a selfie type feel. There's nothing really wrong with that, especially if you compare it to what we had with SD back in the day. But it just shows you, and one reason I wanted to use it, it shows you the versatility of being able to just use your phone. A lot of times when I'm talking about organizing and when I'm talking about intentional technologies, I really want you to understand that you can approach a lot of these things in a way that makes a lot more sense. And, you don't have to spend a ton of money to do that. We've talked about Microsoft before and how you can get the family plan for $99 a year for up to 6 people. And that's amazing when you're talking about the versatility of the Microsoft platform. And I've got some different things on my blog for you to be able to take a look at for what all's included in that, including Clipchamp, which is what I use to edit my videos as well. That all comes bundled in. Now, you can only go up to 1080p, but I would argue you don't really need 4K resolution for a lot of this. And real quick, we're going to cut away and I'm going to show you kind of my desk setup. And again, a lot of these are things that are not super expensive. And I'll have links down in the description below so that you can go and see every piece of technology that I use. And here we are. You can see right here, I was talking about the idea of having this to be able to see myself and kind of my motions and how those would translate into video, especially if I'm wanting to see how it's going to look on camera. And of course, I'm showing you everything here, so I'm looking and engaging with the camera instead in this particular moment. But right here, you have my document camera. Again, all of this is in the description below. You also have, turn off this Edison light here. Sometimes that glow can be a little distracting. That's why I have the other one off. But those were a gift from Melissa and really kind of speak to the way that I like to have things. I've got the old style desk. I've got the Jefferson book stand. I've got a lot of things that really just kind of speak to me in the way that I like to engage and the way, quite frankly, that I like to keep my technological side separate from my focus side. And that's why usually these reside here, the Supernotes do, because I'll turn around, I'll spend some quality focus time writing, getting myself organized, getting my thoughts together, and then I'll move over here, and that's where you've got the document camera, the small ring light, this larger desk lamp, of course, the mechanical arm that can hold the Yeti, which is down here as well. just to give me a pretty wide variety of things. And most of this is budget friendly. Now, the one thing that's not, and I've mentioned this in my blog as well, or I should say in the description as well for some of the things we've talked about, but is the ZenBook Duo. This is a pricey piece of hardware. Primarily, though, I do a lot of online teaching, I do instructional design work, I do high-end work when it comes to those sorts of things. And now, since I've started doing this YouTube thing, again, more as a hobby, but slowly turning into something that I'm really starting to enjoy, being able to run OBS and Clipchamp and all of the different editing platforms on here and being able to really engage in the space with the power that this particular computer offers makes a big difference. This was just a quick tour. Appreciate you staying with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments. Also, I would love to hear what your setup is. Are there any tools out there, especially from a budget-friendly perspective? One thing that we've kind of lost over time is how YouTube started. And it's funny because I never really entered that space back then. But the idea was turn on your camera and just do something. And I've tried to do that, but I've also tried to maintain somewhat of a professional cut to a lot of this. But I try to be as authentic as possible without overproducing. And don't get me wrong, I love watching Colin and Samir. I love watching Think Media, Mr. Beast. My kids love Mark Rober, and I think he's phenomenal. We just finished watching Scott Kramer a little bit ago. And I think all of their production values are definitely way up here compared to my own. But at the same time, there's still that authenticity that they bring to the table. And at some point, they started small. At some point, it was just them doing things on camera. And for me, that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I'm just saying some stuff, I'm putting some things out there, things that I've learned over time, and hopefully it's going to engage and connect with you. Some of my videos do really well, some of them not so much, and that's okay because not everything is for everybody. But the ideas and the way we move forward and the way we change and grow, I think is really important. So again, as I always say, you know, if you want to be a change agent in this world, just bring your perspective and your voice to the table, and that's how you do that. So thank you, and I will talk to you soon.